The night after our graduate thesis defense, I broke up with Willow. Just because I helped him with his resume and not you? She raised an eyebrow and chuckled. I said, yeah. She shrugged, all right, don't regret it. I had known each other since we were 5 childhood sweethearts. All those years, she believed I would never leave. But she didn't know. The resume? It was just an excuse. I'd already fixed mine. I'd already sent it out. I'd already gotten a job offer in a city as far away from her as possible. This time I was really leaving. It happened in the coffee shop downstairs from the office. Afternoon sunlight fell across Willow's delicate side profile. Stirring her coffee, she asked with a half smile, Mr. Wong, are you really that petty? I nodded. Petty enough to break up. She rested her chin on her hand, the corners of her eyes lifting slightly. How many times is this now? Remember? I paused. She leaned back lazily into the sofa and continued 8th, 9th, or 10th. Don't be ridiculous, George. After more than 10 years, you can't live without me. I shook my head. No one's indispensable. We'll both live. She let out a soft "oh," nodded, and said, all right. Just don't regret it. I won't. I stood up and walked out right into Makoto. He had a document folder tucked under his arm. Willow, the final interview notice from that foreign company just came through. Not confident. Could you help me go over the interview strategy again? Willow didn't respond immediately. Whole row, hobo rewald. Hell way dada wa ho wo you are whoa 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 whoa. If this had been before, I would have snapped at him right there. What does your interview have to do with Willow? That I was tired of this cycle. I turned to leave, but Makoto stopped me. George, don't misunderstand. Willow and I are just regular friends. He bit his lip, expression innocent. No one in my family understands these things. That's why I asked Willow for help. This job opportunity means everything to someone like me, someone from a small town. Don't get upset with Willow over something so trivial. She stayed up late helping me with mock interviews. Her voice was completely hoarse afterward. I couldn't help but cut him off. Oh, just friends, huh? And you're practicing at her apartment until 11 every night? Just friends, but when you've got a fever, you insist she stays at the hospital with you. Just friends, and every time you buy a new tie, you send her a picture to ask if it matches. Just friends, yet every time we're on a date, you magically need her for something? What are you? Orphaned. Friendless. Since you know you're just the chauffeur's son, not her real boyfriend, have you completely forgotten what boundaries are? Makoto froze. His eyes instantly reddened. He looked down, shoulders trembling. George. Willow stood up, pulled out a tissue, and handed it to him with a sigh. I know you've got a sharp tongue, but could you not use it to bully someone just because he's honest? A tear splashed onto the table from Makoto's face. In the quiet corner of the café, his muffled sobs rang out. A grown man crying like that, I honestly started wondering if he even had a dick. Suddenly, it all felt meaningless. The air was suffocating. I turned and walked away. I went straight to bed when I got home and didn't wake up until late that night. Reaching for my phone, the first thing I saw was a new post from Makoto on his Moments feed. Feeling a bit down, but tried Texas Hold'em for the first time tonight. Lucky hand, thanks for your patience and not minding a newbie like me. For someone like me, just a broke kid buried in books growing up, I finally realized the poker table isn't just for wasting time, it's another kind of battlefield. Attached was a photo of the poker table. Slender, well-defined hand was pushing a stack of chips forward. Next to it was Makoto, flashing a V-scene. And on the wrist of that hand, the limited edition watch I had gifted Willow last year. Then my phone lit up. It's a message from Willow. Send me your resume. I'll take a look at it for you. Wow. She'd spent 5 full hours playing cards with someone else, then remembered me. I stared at her profile picture. It was still the one I'd taken of her, at the base of the snow-capped mountains, smiling freely, boldly. After all these years, she'd never changed it. My finger hovered over the screen for a moment, then I opened settings and moved her to the block list. Half an hour later, I went downstairs for a late-night bite. My uncle saw me and asked, "What happened to your eyes?" "They're swollen," I mumbled. "Slept too much. Pressed on them." "Graduated now, you deserve a good rest." Uncle slid a bowl of hot soup over. "I still say Willow's a thoughtful girl. Her family pulled some strings. She's already got a job lined up at Panda Group, right here in town. And you, just to build a future in the same city, you turned down out-of-town offers. Stayed up night after night, learning more skills. I felt bad just seeing those dark circles under your eyes." I put my chopsticks down. Kunkel, actually. "I've accepted an offer. One of the top securities firms." T froze, surprise flickering into hesitation. "But North City's so far. What about you and Willow? I know the difference between career and emotions." I cut in calmly. "This opportunity is a stepping stone. If the background check clears, I'm leaving next week." Eventually, he nodded. Just then, my phone buzzed. It was David, my best friend, inviting me to our graduation blowout party. "Go on, have fun." My uncle patted my back. "Been holding it together long enough. Time to loosen up." Half an hour later, I walked into that well-known club. David told me to grab some drinks from the bar first. I was scooping ice into a tray when I heard a familiar voice from a nearby booth. "Miss Liu, we came out to have fun, but you've been glued to your phone all night. What's up?" "Got blocked," Willow said casually. "By who?" "That bold. Who else?" She replied, half smiling. "My almighty other half." "George, huh?" Realization hit the person she was with. Honestly, with young Master Wang's temper, who else but you could even handle him? Willow let out a soft laugh. "I spoiled him myself." "Else can I do? Gotta deal with it?" "What was it this time?" Helped Makoto revise his resume. "That it?" The voice sounded baffled. Young Master Wang's got such a short fuse. "But we've talked about this if we were picking boyfriends. Someone like Makoto would be perfect, thoughtful, gentle, always puts others first." I didn't listen to the rest. I took the drinks back to the private room. The moment I stepped in, I saw David yelling at someone in a waiter's uniform. "Makoto, talk about bad timing. We ordered Johnny Walker Black Label, and you brought Jack Daniels. Everyone in our department knows George is allergic to Jack. How the hell is he supposed to drink this?" Makoto's face flushed. "There are too many people tonight. I got mixed up in the rush. Then fix it." "What do you mean? Can't change it?" Makoto spotted me, eyes pleading like a drowning man reaching for a lifeline. "George, I messed up the order, but this is my second strike tonight. One more, and I lose all my tips. You can afford to let this go, can't you? Just help me out, please." I sat down, face unreadable. "Are you confused?" "I'm allergic to Jack Daniels. You made the mistake. Why should I pay for it? Did I place that order? It's just a glass of Black Label, 300 something. I'm begging you, we're classmates, right? Help me just this once." His face twisted with awkwardness. "I'm not like you guys. I have to work to pay rent, cover my expenses. Every cent counts. It mattered that much. Why screw up? And if you messed up, why guilt trip others into cleaning up your mess?" My voice was cold, sharp. "I'm allergic to Jack. The lighting in here's dim. If David hadn't caught it. One sip and I'd be on my way to the ER. The fact that I'm not holding you accountable is already generous. And you expect me to pay the price for your screw-up?" David backed me up. "Exactly. This is just unreasonable." Makoto stood there, humiliated, still wearing that pitiful look. "You rich kids. You just look down on people like US, don't you?" He wiped his face suddenly, grabbed the Jack Daniels from the table, and stormed toward the door, nearly bumping into a group of people just walking in. "Makoto," someone with sharp eyes called out. "Wrong? Who upset you?" Makoto shook his head, but his eyes were already reddened, locked on Willow in the crowd. "What's going on, Willow?" stepped forward. "He brought the wrong drink," David said as he stepped out. "We ordered Johnny Walker Black Label, and he brought Jack Daniels. George is allergic. Instead of fixing it, he tried to make us pay for it." "I didn't mean to," Makoto murmured, head lowered. "Come on, we're all classmates. Someone tried to defuse it." "You two rich kids really getting this heated over a few drinks?" "A few drinks?" David scoffed. "Do you even know how serious George's allergy is? Last time his chopsticks touched a bit of Jackhand, his throat swelled. He nearly landed in the ICU. Willow looked toward me, still standing in the private room. Her brows knit just slightly. "Did you drink it?" I gave her a cold smile. "Would you prefer that I did?" "You wish I had, don't you?" "Well, sorry to disappoint. I'd rather not be a burden to the emergency room." She stepped closer, voice softening. "Right, but you didn't drink it, so why blow it up like this?" "He didn't do it on purpose. If you're mad at me, be mad at me. Don't take it out on him. It's already got enough going on." "Miss Liu, do you really think your reputation matters more than common sense?" I shot back. "You think I'm doing this to spite you? Are you blind or just pretending?" "He screws up and now he's the victim. Let it go, Willow." Makoto sniffled and gently tugged her sleeve. "I'll bring them new drinks. I'll give up tonight's tips. Just don't make it worse than it already is." Crying again. That pathetic act. He really was such a damn eunuch. Seeing him fake it pushed me over the edge. I shouted, "Who the hell said you could speak? You mess up, and now you're acting like the bigger person? Where's your shame?" George Willow's voice was low now but firm. "That's enough. Don't go too far." She turned to Makoto. "Send the Jack Daniels to our table. Bring them more Black Labels. Put it on my tab." "No need." I grabbed my jacket and walked out. "If the lady wants to play saint, she can do it alone." "David, let's go." "Ha, what a temper," someone muttered behind me. David and I walked the quiet streets, the early morning, air still and cold. "Sorry, George," he said, clearly frustrated. "I should have just ordered another drink. Could have saved you and Willow from fighting again. Why should I be the one to back down?" I kept walking, just because he can cry. We all have to cover for his mistakes. Then I stopped and added, "I already broke up with Willow this afternoon." David walked silently next to me. I looked at him. "What? You don't believe me?" He let out a long sigh. "Honestly, George, no one believes you'll actually break up with Willow." He turned to me. "Are you really willing to let her go?" That question echoed in my head while I sat in the car on the way home. Really willing? A little ways before the villa, I asked the driver to pull over. I wanted to walk this street. It was where I first met Willow. That year, my parents had died in an accident. I was sent to live with my uncle. People on the street whispered and pointed. "That's the kid," insisted his parents come back for his birthday. Went then on. The road. Such a pity. They were such a lovely couple. If it weren't for that kid. That night I avoided everyone and walked to the edge of the man-made lake. Then I jumped in. Wanted to see if my life could bring them back. I still don't know how. Willow showed up, but she clung to me tightly and refused to let go. From then on, 5-year-old her followed me everywhere, like she was scared I'd disappear if she looked away for a second. After my parents' death, I became dark, unstable. I hated myself. I pushed everyone away. I cursed her, threw rocks at her. She never got mad. She never left. When the Liu family adults told her to come home, she puffed her cheeks and said no. She was the big sister. She had to protect her little brother. Idiot. That's what I thought. In elementary school, a boy called me a cursed orphan who killed his parents. Willow charged at him and started swinging. "He's not parentless," she shouted, nose bruised, lip bleeding. "Uncle and aunt are his parents now." When the crowd left, I looked at her coldly and said, "They're not your parents." "They will be," she grinned, even though it hurt to smile. "Once you marry me, won't they be?" Maybe that's when I started to soften. That day, I reached out and pulled her off the ground. Our little hands clasped, and for over 10 years they didn't let go, till our first year of grad school. That's when Makoto entered the Liu household. He was Mr. Ito's son there. Long-time driver. He'd gotten into our university's graduate program and moved in with his dad. The first time I felt something was off was on Willow's birthday. I had brought her a gift and snuck into her apartment to surprise her, hiding in the closet near the door. But she came in with Makoto. "Willow, happy birthday," he said shyly. "I made this model myself. It's based on your family's old estate. It's probably not as fancy as what George got you, but I spent several nights working on it. Thank you. It's the thought that counts," Willow replied. Rage surged through me. I pushed open the closet door and stepped out. "What do you mean not as fancy as George's? Give your gift, fine, but why compare it to mine? Because mine's expensive? It doesn't count as heartfelt?" I didn't mean it like that. He flushed red when he saw me, stammering nervously. Willow quickly escorted him out. "What are you so mad about?" she said, closing the door and smiling. "I don't like him. His family's struggling. His mom's sick. His dad barely earns enough driving. Getting into our school wasn't easy. Uncle asked me to look out for him," she added. "Just for 3 years. But those 3 years, they became the root of every fight." Makoto always had a reason to show up whenever Willow and I had time alone. Sometimes it was a thesis that needed help. Sometimes his laptop suddenly broke. Sometimes he'd get sick and need care. And every time I got annoyed, he'd lower his head and say nothing. To everyone else, it looked like I was just bullying him. Even Willow would say I was being unreasonable. "It's just a small favor. What's the big deal? I don't even like him. Why are you so jealous?" But something about him always felt off. He'd call right when we were celebrating a win together, saying his pipes had burst. He was panicking. Could Willow please help? He'd suddenly have stomach pains and ask Willow to take him to the hospital while I sat alone at the restaurant we'd booked over an hour ago. He'd ask Willow to help him revise his thesis every night online, even once when I was standing right at the study door, and neither of them even noticed me there. Everyone told me to chill. He's going through a rough time. Just help. But I couldn't ignore that feeling buried deep in my gut. I argued with her, gave her the silent treatment, even broke up with her. But after every breakup, I'd lie in bed, tossing and turning, unable to sleep, then go crawling back like a fool. Even tried to change myself, tried to be more understanding. David was right. I couldn't let her go, just couldn't. A bond built over more than 10 years had become part of me, fused into my bones. Every time I tried to cut it off, it felt like sawing into flesh with a dull knife. Painful, brutal, and I hate pain. That's why I kept compromising again and again. Till last month, the project I was leading got ambushed at a critical stage by a ruthless competitor. Everything was falling apart. I tried to reach her, called more than a dozen times. Answer, I handled it alone, all through the night. And the crisis finally passed. Later, I found out she had spent that entire night helping Makoto rehearse for a completely unrelated job interview. She didn't even know what I'd gone through. And in that moment, I realized maybe breaking up wasn't that hard after all. 2 weeks later, just after I finalized my job offer, came Old Master Liu's 70th birthday banquet. The Liu and Wang families had always been close. Even if Willow and I had broken up, the old man had always been kind to me, so skipping his birthday was never an option. What I didn't expect was that Makoto would be there too. The seat next to Willow had always been mine. This time, I didn't sit there. I walked to the opposite end of the table. After helping his father set out the fruit trays, Makoto slipped effortlessly into that seat beside her, my old spot. When I returned from giving birthday wishes to Old Master Liu, I saw Willow had moved. She was now sitting beside me. Still annoyed, she rested her chin in her hand, her eyes teasing. "It's been 2 weeks. Why the silent treatment this time?" I sat down calmly. "Willow, we broke up. You agreed to it too." She let out a soft laugh. Unbelievable. "Fine then, tell me, how long is this breakup going to last this time?" I didn't respond. The banquet began. After Old Master Liu blew out his candles, the elders started chatting about the three of us, our futures. Makoto's resumed for that final interview. "Thank goodness for Willow's editing," one elder said. really made it shine. He got the offer now right downstairs from Willow's own head office. Master Ito chimed in proudly. Makoto smiled sheepishly. It was all thanks to Willow. She gave me crash courses, helped with salary negotiations. Without her, I couldn't have gotten closer to my dream investment banking. Old Madam Lu turned to me. What about you, George? Grandma still doesn't know where you decided to work. Before I could answer, Willow jumped in. He actually got an offer from Panda Group in South City, she said proudly. I asked their HR myself. The starting salary is excellent. He's got a bright future. As she said it, she gently nudged my shoe under the table. I moved, my foot away, quietly picking at my food. The platform for your first job matters. Old Master Lee nodded. You have to choose wisely. Makoto jumped in again. Exactly. Come from a humble family I've always wanted to go into. Finance, to earn better. Support my parents. But also because finance is the heart of the economy. And since I've received so much kindness from the Liu family, I hope that someday, if any of you ever need help with asset allocation, I can give back. Choosing a job isn't just about income, he continued. It's about contributing. Value to society, about helping others. Don't you agree, George? I smiled. Sorry, I'm not quite as noble as you. I just want to start out as an analyst, build experience, and eventually take over my family's company. Of course, if any of you need wealth planning services, our firm just launched a new ultra-high net worth family office platform. Top-tier team. Global asset management. 24/7 concierge support. Really, George? Old Madam Lu's eyes lit up. That's actually very useful. My uncle saw the proposal last week, another added. Very professional. Our whole family's behind him. The elders leaned in, eager to hear more. Across the table, Makoto's face went red then pale. After the banquet, Willow followed me into the garden, under the vines. All right, you've made your point, she said. Now add me back. I almost laughed. Made my point? We're broken up. Haven't you heard? The best kind of ex is the kind who's as quiet as the dead. You're always so harsh. She said, reaching out to grab my arm. I'm heading to HQ for training next month. Half a year, maybe longer. If you don't add me back now, it'll be hard to even see me. You really don't want that? I don't, I said. We're already over. What's there to want? I turned to leave, but she suddenly yanked my phone right out of my pocket. Give it back, I shouted. Don't be childish. She smoothly unlocked it, and as she removed herself from my block list, she said, There, you're seriously going to keep ignoring me until your first day at Panda Group? Don't forget you'll need someone to help you settle in. Why? Would I need you? She was going to Panda Group in South City. I was heading to Penguin Securities in North City. It's not even the same region. Then who are you expecting to help you? She scoffed. One of those pretty female colleagues at Panda? Forget it. On your first day, I will be the one to help. Don't forget you have a girlfriend. I stood there speechless. And right then Makoto's voice cut in from the side. On the first day, can I come with you guys? Makoto had that uncanny ability always appearing out of nowhere right when Willow and I were alone. Like a ghost. Like he had radar installed. Willow froze for a second, surprised. Then she shook her head. Sorry, Makoto. Our luggage will probably take up the whole car. I'll call another one for you. I don't have much. Just a carry-on, he said, turning to me with hopeful eyes. George, you're probably bringing more, right? How about you take that car? I can ride. With Willow will fit just fine. I almost laughed at how absurd it was. Sure. You two go ahead. You're headed the same way anyway. I turned and walked off. Even one more second there made my skin crawl. Willow ran after me. Don't say things just to be spiteful. She grabbed my arm. Your first day at a new job is important. I have to be the one who takes you. I folded my arms, glancing over at Makoto standing there pitiful like a kicked puppy. You sure? If you don't take him, he might start crying again. Why would I take him? It's not my boyfriend, she said bluntly. Then added, I didn't help with your resume because I thought the Panda offer would be easy. I know how amazing my boyfriend is. It's settled then. I'll arrange the car, she said, gently swaying my arm. Right? Don't be mad anymore, okay? Just then a few elders strolled into the garden. "Oh my, look at these two. What a perfect match," old Madame Leo beamed. Hadn't moved, Willow's lips curled into a confident smile. Well, she probably thought I'd cooled off again, that, like all the other times, this breakup was just noise. An empty threat. "Be good," she whispered in my ear. "When I get back from training, we'll start at Panda Group together." 2 months passed in the blink of an eye. During those 2 months, Willow kept messaging me on and off. "Oh, tonight." First, I'd reply with things like, "We've broken up. Stop bothering me." She completely ignored it, acted like I was just throwing a tantrum, kept texting as if nothing had changed. When I didn't reply, she just kept sending messages, relentless. Eventually, I started replying coldly with a simple just to get her to stop. The day I got my official onboarding notice from Penguin Securities in North City, I celebrated with my uncle. "Uncle, do you think what I'm doing is wrong?" I asked. His eyes widened. I snapped, "What's wrong with it? I may be old, but I'm not senile. That Lou girl and Makoto, there's something going on. I saw it plain as day at the banquet. I didn't say anything then, but she made my nephew look like a fool. George, you've got the talent. You should be at a place like Penguin." Penguin's onboarding was a week earlier than Willow's HQ date. My uncle insisted on flying with me, so we left early to get familiar with North City. As the plane climbed, I stared out the window at the shrinking skyline. For the first time, I felt it. I had left. I registered a new North City number, started a new social media account. Only added a few people like David. My uncle stayed with me during the first week of work. But just a few days after he left, while I was walking with a senior colleague, to a morning meeting, my phone rang. It was David. "George, something's happened." "What?" "Word is, Willow never showed up to report in at Panda Group." I froze. "What? She finished training, then went looking for you? But neither you nor your uncle were around, so she figured you two went traveling. For some reason, she actually went to that investment banking mixer." "With Makoto?" "Yes. You changed numbers, so you haven't seen Makoto's posts. He's been spamming his Moments feed. 9 picture collages every day. Every single one had Willow in it. Anyone looking at them would think he's her actual boyfriend." Then came onboarding day. You weren't there. She couldn't reach you. Couldn't reach your uncle. That's when she started panicking, messaging everyone she could think of. Even went back to campus to ask around. That's when she ran into one of the professors. That's how she finally found out. He never accepted the Panda Group offer. You went to Penguin in North City. The professor was surprised, said he thought she already knew. Mentioned you had asked him not to spread the word about your Penguin offer. She came to see me yesterday. She looked totally wrecked. No makeup, hair a mess. Asking me if I knew why you went to North City. I asked her, "Don't you know why?" Then I showed her Makoto's Moments feed. I told her anyone could see how clingy the two of them looked. How could George keep putting up with that? She said she had no idea about those posts. And honestly, she didn't look like she was lying. I think she might be. Coming to find you, not might, was already here. As I lowered the phone, I looked up, and there she was. Standing right in front of me, travel-worn, out of breath. Willow looked completely wrecked. No makeup, dark circles, bloodshot eyes, exhausted. Nothing like the bright, polished woman I used to know. "Xiao Wang, who's this? My colleague?" Asked. I said nothing. "She looks like it's urgent. Want me to take the materials up for you?" I shook my head. No need. "Let's go together." As I walked past Willow, she suddenly grabbed my wrist. "George, I have a morning meeting. It's important." I brushed her hand off and said coldly, "If there's something to say, we'll talk afterward." Then I followed my colleague into the elevator. 20 minutes later, I came back downstairs. She was still standing in the exact same spot. My colleague glanced at her, then asked quietly, "Do you need help?" She looks pretty shaken. "It's fine. Thanks, sister. Bye," I said with a smile. "She's an old friend." She nodded. "Let me know if you need anything." I brought Willow to the tea house below the office. We sat by the window. "I need an explanation." Her voice was hoarse. "We broke up," I replied. She stared at my eyes, unwavering. "Because I helped him with his resume?" "Let's say that's why." Do you even realize what kind of decision you've made? We agreed to build our future in this city. Now you just up and leave without a word. Oh, George, what? Do you even take me for? Take you for? I smiled bitterly. What a joke. An ex, I said calmly. And since you're an ex, where I work isn't your concern anymore? Why? Her voice spiked. You've fallen for someone else? That woman from earlier? I let out a sharp laugh. Wow, Willow. After spending enough time with Makoto, you've really mastered flipping the script. I stood up. You're here to accuse me, throw a tantrum, and blame me for the breakup, then there's nothing left to say. I picked up my briefcase and turned to leave, but she grabbed my wrist hard, her entire body trembling. 18 years. 18 years. She lifted her head, eyes bloodshot. All because of a resume. That's your excuse for walking away? Were tired of me all along, weren't you? You just wanted to ditch. Me admit it. George, how could you be so cruel? After everything, you just cut me off like it meant nothing. Did you even have a heart? Do you know what I thought about every day during training? She swallowed hard. Thought once we both settled down, I'd buy a place in South City. We'd finally have our own home. We'd go to work together in the mornings. Spend weekends furniture shopping. Curl up on the couch watching movies. We'd both shine in our careers. And then, we'd get married. I even went to that banking mixer because I heard some Panda execs would be there. I wanted to help clear the path for you. You know what I was doing during the days you were flying to North City for your job? I was researching housing in South City that would suit us. While I sorted through all those listings, all I could think was... Her eyes were terrifyingly red. When I picked you up on your first day, I'd give you this surprise. You'd be so happy, you'd jump for joy. I was planning our future like an idiot, George. And you? What the hell were you doing? Did it feel good, huh? Leading me on like that? Did it make you happy? I looked at her silently. All I saw was heartbreak, resentment, disbelief, shattered pride. I sat back down across from her. Willow, I said, do you know why I started pushing that family office project the second I got the Penguin offer? She froze. On the night of May 15th, my uncle was out of town for a business trip. My aunt had taken a leave to visit her hometown. I was home alone. I ordered seafood takeout. I didn't check the ingredients properly. It had crab roe in it, which I'm allergic to. I spoke calmly. I don't know what else might have been in it, but the reaction was worse than anything before. I couldn't breathe. Everything went dark. Rashes broke out all over my body. I called you multiple times. No answer. I waited. Then I called 911. During those long 10+ minutes waiting for the ambulance, I kept calling you. When the ambulance arrived, twirled to the door to let them in, Willow's pupils suddenly contracted. When they lifted me onto the stretcher, I honestly thought I wasn't going to make it. As the ambulance passed your apartment building, I wished more than anything that you'd see it, that you'd come out, that you'd be there. I've always been afraid of hospitals. At night, all I could think about was my parents. I didn't want to die alone. I was shaking so badly they had to physically restrain me. It wasn't until after 2 a.m. that the symptoms finally came under control. I refused to stay for observation and took a cab home by myself. That's when your call finally came. Do you remember what I asked? I asked why you hadn't answered. All night. And do you remember what you said? Willow's face turned ghostly pale. You said you were helping Makoto with mock interviews and had silenced your phone to focus. Her voice trembled. George, I didn't know. Really didn't know. If I had, you didn't know. Because when I got your call, I was standing right outside your building. Shook my head, forcing a faint smile. Funny, isn't it? I wasn't even that upset when I couldn't reach you, when I had to go to the hospital alone. But once I heard your reason, it hurt more than the allergy attack that nearly killed me. I looked up at the light shining from your study window. I don't know why, but I suddenly thought of that time in our sophomore year. You remember? I broke my arm playing basketball. You gave up the piano competition final you'd been preparing for months, just to run like crazy to the infirmary. I called you insane, and you, eyes red with tears, shouted at me, George, you better remember this whenever you need me. I'll run through hell and fire to be there for you. These past 2 years I've been blaming myself. Every argument, Every breakup. I kept wondering if I was too hot-tempered, too petty, too demanding, but that night, standing outside your building, watching the lights in your and Makoto's rooms turn off one by one, in that moment, I finally let go. I don't know when it started, but the girl who once rushed to me without hesitation now has someone else in her eyes, someone she talks to about my flaws, someone she lets get close while pushing me further away, and maybe that's your choice. I could never be as gentle and considerate as Makoto. No matter how much noise I make, it doesn't matter anymore. This play of ours, the three of us. It's time for the curtain call. Willow stared at me blankly, as if all her strength had drained. So, those last 2 months before graduation, you'd already decided to leave? Yeah, I said, with a faint smile, and you didn't even notice I'd been reaching out less. You were too busy helping Makoto with his interviews, Avon, though you knew I never liked him. No, I never liked him, George. I was wrong. I really didn't know what happened that night. If I had known, I'd rather have died than leave you alone, she said, her voice cracking. It's all in the past. I shook my head. You just wanted a reason today, so I gave you one. That's all. I don't like him. I really don't. I never thought he'd come between us. I helped with his resume and interview prep because his family's struggling eye was only lending a hand. If I actually liked him, if I ever wanted something with him, would I have put so much effort into planning our future together? Please believe me, George. She reached out, trying desperately to grab my hand. Just lending a hand, I dodged her grasp. My tone was cold. Willow, you just took advantage of the fact that I wouldn't leave. You guiltlessly soaked up someone else's admiration and dependence. Don't tell me you didn't know he's always had feelings for you. I took a sip of tea and continued. But it doesn't matter anymore. You're just not used to it. That's all. I used to think I couldn't live without you either. But like I said, the day we broke up, time and distance blur everything. No one is truly indispensable. I don't want this. She slammed her fist onto the table, her knuckles turning white. I'm not breaking up, I won't. A single tear splashed onto the table. Then another and another. George, it's been 18 years. You can't just say you don't want me anymore. I'll cut him off. I'll change. I'll change everything. Let's not break up.
Please.
Let's not break up. Looking into her bloodshot eyes, a dull ache stirred in my chest. I knew that pain. The pain of tearing away. She said she'd planned a future. But so had I. She never knew inside the cap of that custom fountain pen I gave her on her 25th birthday. I had engraved a tiny line of text. A promise for a lifetime together. One I had meant to show her. When everything finally settled. But now, it no longer mattered. Willow, I said, shaking my head, go home. There's no going back for us anymore. When it rained, she'd wait at the door with an extra umbrella. When the weather turned cold, she'd show up with a thick coat. She did all of this like it was the most natural thing in the world, as if we were still a loving, inseparable couple. But I never accepted anything. I never responded. It became a one-person performance, hers alone. My colleagues would ask me privately, that pretty persistent girl downstairs, is she your girlfriend? I'd say, ex-girlfriend. Whoa, they'd gasp. An ex, that beautiful. And devoted, and you still have the heart to say no. She kept it up for an entire month. Then, at an industry networking event, I met a woman. She was a partner at a well-known law firm, sharp, elegant, and articulate. Her insights into the financial market left a strong impression on me. After the event, she took the initiative to exchange business cards and invited me to coffee that weekend to discuss possible collaboration. That scene happened to be witnessed by Willow, who was waiting in the lobby. She instinctively stepped forward like she had countless times before, ready to assert her presence, as if claiming her territory. But after taking 2 steps, she abruptly stopped, because she heard me on the phone saying, "All right, see you this weekend?" George, she rushed over and grabbed my arm, eyes red and wild. Don't say yes to her. George, please don't agree to meet her. I thought of the phone call I got last night from Aunt Liu. George, we elders won't meddle in your young folks' business. We're happy you're doing well in North City. But if Willow keeps this up, She's going to lose her position at Panda Group. You know how much she sacrificed to get into that company? I'm begging you talk to her. Convince her to come back, please. Willow, I said, it's time for you to go home. At first, Willow refused to leave. But 3 days later, she finally returned to South City. Because Grandma Lou was hospitalized after falling ill from stress. 2 days later, I got a call from my uncle. George, you need to come back. What happened, Si? It's that Liu girl again. She's refusing to report for work at Panda Group. And now she's throwing a tantrum saying she wants to resign and move to North City. Your Grandpa Liu and Grandma Lou are absolutely furious. And now she's threatening to go on a hunger strike. You know, her stomach's always been weak. She collapsed again. I had to use our family's medical concierge card to get a specialist to come to the house. He sighed. I know you've made up your mind to break up, but Grandpa and Grandma Liu have treated you like their own grandson since you were little. Just come back and talk some sense into her. Get that girl to stop making trouble and go back to work. I booked the earliest flight back to South City. The moment Grandma Lou saw me, she began to wipe her tears. You two were doing so well. What happened? Willow bullied you. Just tell Grandma. I'll set her straight for you, all right? I shook my head. Grandma, please take care of your health. I'll go up and check on her. Upstairs, just outside Willow's bedroom, I ran into Makoto. He was holding a bowl of warm porridge meant to soothe the stomach and was gently trying to persuade her. Get lost! Who told you to come? Said you're not allowed in my house again. Willow's hoarse voice roared from inside the room. Ito-san's back pain flared up today, so I came in his place, Makoto said, voice as timidly stubborn as ever. If not for yourself, can't you at least think of those who truly care about you? Something slammed hard against the door. I said, get lost. Don't you understand human language? I'm not leaving. Makoto's voice rose, laced with tears. I'm not as heartless as he is. I can't stand watching you destroy yourself like this. If you won't eat or go to work, then I won't eat or go to school either. Go ahead and see if I care. Get out. The next second, the door flew open. Willow's lifeless eyes instantly lit up the moment they saw me. George, she shoved Makoto aside. You're back. When did you get here? Just got off the plane, I replied calmly. If this isn't a good time, I can come back later. Don't be silly. Her eyes immediately turned red. I knew you wouldn't abandon me. I was silent for a few seconds. Willow, this is childish. Come in. She gripped my hand tightly, pulling me into the room, completely ignoring Makoto beside her. I've already contacted some headhunters in South City. A few companies look promising. Take a look. But suddenly Makoto extended an arm, blocking the doorway. Move. Willow's voice turned ice cold. Why are you being so stupid? What is it you like about him anyway? Makoto looked at Willow, his eyes filled with unshed tears. He's selfish, cold, bad-tempered, and all he does is take from you. His parents died because of him. Willow, are you really going to ruin yourself over him? Shut up. Willow was trembling with rage. Say one more word about George, and I swear I'll rip your mouth apart. This is between you. Stay out of it. I won't stay out of it. Seeing you like this hurts more than dying. Then he turned to me, his eyes filled with resentment. George, have you ever really cared about her? What have you ever done except take and take? Her stomach's weak. Did you ever make her porridge even once? She was so exhausted from rotating shifts she nearly passed out from low blood sugar. But she still thought to buy you a late-night snack. Did you ever feel sorry for her? She gave everything to you. What did you give her in return? I suddenly smiled. George, don't listen to this lunatic. Willow clutched my hand tighter in panic. I pulled my hand free, looked at Makoto with a cold smirk and said, You think you're the one who really loves her, don't you? You think she's just some poor girl blinded by a toxic relationship, and you're the noble savior here to rescue her. What a joke. She pities you. You pity her. The two of you really are a perfect match. I stepped forward. You ask what I've done for her? You warm up one bowl of porridge and think that makes you some kind of tragic romantic hero? Did. It never occurred to you that this porridge recipe doesn't even exist on the market? Makoto froze. That's because the bowl you're holding, I made it. Every summer, at our old countryside house, I personally cooked it for her. Her stomach's delicate. To help her heal, I pored over medical texts, experimented with dozens of formulas, stayed up countless nights until I finally settled on this one. Its obscure factory would produce it, and I didn't trust outsourcing it anyway. So every summer, I did it myself. I picked the best rice, the most authentic, medicinal herbs. I stood by the clay pot and simmered it for half a day. Do you know how suffocating a kitchen gets in the middle of summer? You only see the polished version of Hertha, prestigious degree, the glamorous look. And did you know that in her second year of grad school, the pressure from her project was so overwhelming that she had sleepless nights, even thoughts of giving up? I'm the one who found her a therapist. I stayed up chatting with her when she couldn't sleep. I dropped everything to take her into the mountains for a week when she couldn't bear to face people. My voice was ice. To tell you any of this, but seeing your self-righteous savior complex just disgusts me. Yes, Willow and I broke up. But who the hell are you to question what I gave her? Makoto stared at me, lips trembling, utterly speechless. Get out, Makoto.
Willow's
Voice was sharp as ice. Don't make me call security. Then, what about me? He collapsed onto the floor, looking up at her like a drowning man grasping for one final straw. These 3 years, everything we've shared, day in and day out. Willow, are you saying you never felt anything for me? No, Willow replied, firm and resolute. I gave you the wrong idea, I'm sorry. But if I had known. Helping you would cost me, George. I'd rather never have met you. He stared at her in a daze. For a long moment, he didn't move. Then finally, covering his face, he turned and ran down the stairs in a stumble. Clatter. In his panic, Makoto knocked over the delicate pen stand on Willow's desk. The custom fountain pen I gave her on her 25th birthday, graved with a vow for the future, rolled to the ground. The cap and body separating. She scrambled to pick it up, but the moment her hand grasped the pen body, she froze. Cap. The line of carefully hidden micro-engraved words glinted clearly under the light. To my Willow, may the rest of my life write each chapter of our future together. George. Willow sank to her knees on the carpet, her hands trembling as she picked up the cap, holding it to the light. She carefully rotated it, reading the even smaller inscriptions engraved along the inner rim lines that could only be seen when turned just right. The first one. Willow, happy graduation. Gave everything I had to get closer to your future. My reward? Will a kiss be enough? The second, sweetheart, you've worked hard this year, boyfriend. Sounds a little worn out, now interested in something more permanent. Like calling me husband. The third, today's the day we move into our new home. Tell me, what color flowers did you choose for the balcony? The fourth, the fifth. Willow, I just found a gray hair. No laughing. Life. Let me meet you first, okay? And finally, Willow, if you're reading this, it means we really did spend a lifetime together. Your ticket to the next life, officially stamped. She clutched the pen, sobbing uncontrollably. I'll go to North City and find a job, she said, looking up through tear-filled eyes. George, once I'm settled, give me a chance. Please. I shook my head. Willow, do you remember the first day I returned to South City when you waited for me downstairs? That day, I had just finished an important conference call. It was about a long-term overseas assignment, part of a cross-border M&A project. She went still. Yesterday, I got the official notice. I've been approved. I'm relocating to London next month. The light in her eyes instantly went out. Even if you go to North City, I won't be there. Is it because you want to get away from me? Her voice shook. Do you really hate me that much? I shook my head. No. I sat down on the carpet beside her, looking out at the sunset sinking beneath the horizon. It's because going to North City made me realize the world is so much bigger than I thought. And once I got through the pain of our breakup, I found that even alone, life can still be beautiful. I want to go further. I want to see more. So I seized this opportunity. I turned to her. Willow, you can too. Even without me. Your life will still shine. No, it won't. Not without you. She sobbed like the sky had collapsed. George, 18 years. My whole life plan was built around you. I was stupid. I was awful. You said it You said you didn't like him. You said it. Yes, I did. But life doesn't offer a rewind button. That day, the last rays of sunlight vanished below the horizon, and her tears didn't stop. Maybe at last she understood what kind of resolve it took for me to walk away from these 18 years of love. I returned to North City and threw myself into new work and overseas assignment preparations. I liked the open sky and fast-paced life of North City. Here, autumn was high and clear, and in winter the wind was fierce but the heating warm. Willow eventually reported in at Panda Group, but she declined all unnecessary social events and flew to North City every weekend without fail. She never disturbed me. Sometimes she'd just stand from afar outside my office building. Sometimes she'd sit an entire afternoon in the café across from my apartment. She came every week, so of course she saw how well I was thriving here. But in this vibrant life, there was no trace of her. I knew she was hoping I'd change my mind. Gradually, new faces appeared in my life. Colleagues who appreciated my work. Peers who took the initiative to connect. They'd invite me to play ball, discuss industry trends, and explore collaboration opportunities. Every time Willow saw me laughing and chatting with someone as I left the building, her fists clenched tight and her eyes turned red, but she had no ground to interfere. She did text me, shared her longing, her regret. I replied politely, but distantly. If I knew there was no going back, then I shouldn't give her any illusion otherwise. Before I left the country with my assignment paperwork all approved, I made a brief trip back to South City. David told me Makoto had been let go from that investment bank. Willow found out he'd been spreading rumors and cut him off. She even posted a public statement in their elite circle's internal forum, making it crystal clear. Said she had only one true love, her childhood sweetheart George, now building a career in finance. David whistled. It caused quite a stir in their circle. Makoto became a joke. Everyone said he was just a toad, lusting after a swan. He couldn't take the hit. Started messing up at work, made a rookie accounting error that nearly cost a client a fortune. The firm's cutthroat. They let him go. Without blinking, I answered flatly. He never had a strong foundation. The job came from a resume Willow polished and mock interviews she ran for him. The real world is ruthless. You can't fake it forever. My uncle had mentioned it too. Apparently Makoto and his father went to the Liu family demanding compensation. Uncle Liu called the police on the spot, David continued. At the New Year class reunion, Willow showed up. Didn't see you, and she looked totally out of it. Honestly, she's nothing like the goddess she used to be. So thin she's unrecognizable. Totally lost her glow. Man, you really did take too good care of her before. Before I left, I saw Willow one last time at the airport. She was so thin, she could barely fill out the trench coat we had once picked out together. I almost didn't recognize her. My stomach. The old problem. I've been hospitalized for a while. She forced a smile, her face pale as paper. Oh, I said, pausing. I've written out the porridge recipe and detailed prep instructions. Sent it to Aunt Lou. But she's busy too. You might want to consider signing up for private medical services. I can recommend a good one. She shook her head bitterly. This is what I deserve. I brought this on myself. Still, I stuffed a brochure into her hand. A final act of kindness, perhaps. You're leaving? Her voice was soft, cautious. Yeah, I nodded. Flight's this afternoon. My uncle's seeing me off. Can I visit you in London someday? Her eyes held one last flicker of hope. I smiled gently and slowly shook my head. It's too far. Don't trouble yourself. A year of clinging had to end somewhere. She needed to let go too. But still, she stubbornly shook her head. Goodbye, I waved at her, and turned toward the security checkpoint. Outside the massive terminal windows, the morning light pierced through the clouds, painting the sky in clear gold and crimson like molten glass, full of endless possibility. Suddenly I remembered, many years ago, on a morning just like this, I once held Willow's hand, pointed to the sky, and said, "One day we'll go see the bigger world together." Today's sunrise seemed more magnificent than any in my memory, and I would be setting off alone toward the vast world that now belonged to me. Who says that's not something to look forward to?